What's up, my route runners? It's yours truly, Rock Combo, aka the Professional on the Sticks. I'm bringing y'all a grade in the sub gameplay, and I will break down what that is and get into that in a minute. But I'm Ole Miss, and my opponent is South Carolina, and as you can see, it's a little bit laggy. I don't know if you can see this on the screen or not, but it's definitely a little bit laggy, so it made it a little bit harder to make adjustments and whatnot on defense. And then trying to tackle my opponent, I messed up on some users really bad, made me look like an idiot. But so what is grading the sub? I have a lot of new subscribers. I haven't done this since last year, and what it basically is exactly what the title says. You grade the sub. So I put my tryhards on, or somewhat of my tryhard pants on, and it's a lot different. If you play the game and you lose, and you can look at some highlights or whatever. But if you actually get to see like the game on the computer, it's a lot different, and you can see what you did right and wrong. And pretty much I'm here to provide y'all feedback, and I grade you at the end of the video on your offense and defense, tell you some of your strengths and weaknesses, and what I feel like you really just need to improve on and take your game to the next level. I do this to get back to y'all to help y'all get better at the game, because at the end of the day, like, I want y'all to improve at NCAA or Madden or whatever game that I'm giving tips on, and because I'm a pretty good player. I'm not the best, but I know what all the best players do. I know I can compete with all the best players. I might not always win, but just like a coach in tennis, for example, he can't beat the player, but he definitely can tell the player what he's doing right and wrong. So I might not always execute, but I know what it takes to get to that elite type of level. So let's break that down. And man, I can't stand that it's laggy. That really sucked that this game got a little laggy. But one thing before that, I'm playing with Ole Miss, and I just put in their backup quarterback, and they're really nice. Nice little squad, fun to play with, fast enough quarterback. The only downside is the quarterback, his arm strength isn't where I want it to be, but they have some nice playmakers. Another really good unranked team. I think Miami is the best, and then Ole Miss is pretty good too. And some people were saying that USC was really good. They play a lot better than their rating, so I'm gonna have to check that out as well. But as you can see on offense, my opponent is always using the D end or D tackle, and my opponent, I forget his name. I think it's like Darth Swags or something like that. Well, anyways, he is always using the defensive end or D tackle and trying to do a couple swing moves or doing whatever, and immediately you always will categorize people who do this as, for the most part, average players or below average players. And the reason why is you're pretty much taking yourself out of the play unless you have some unbelievably glitchy move on the D end or whatever. But it takes you away from the field, and it pretty much means the offense is playing against the computer, and that makes it so much easier, because you're not taking away a part of the field to where when you're playing against really good players, they're locking down one side of the field or a little bit of the middle of the field, and for the most part you don't want to test that, because you're going to be pissed because you're going to throw an interception. So whenever you have that taken out of the equation, it just opens up the field of play so much easier, and you can pass lead anything and not worry about it, and it just is what it is, and you have to learn how to figure out what your opponent likes to do. If they're like running a corner route and a streak route, they've hit you a couple times with that streak route, bait going to that corner route, and then shoot, take 2 steps to the corner route, and then shoot back to the middle of the field, and press Y, and hopefully the balk or whatever will let you lurk it and actually get the pick. And that's how you're gonna have to get some stops in this game, and in probably Madden 25 and in future games. Staying on the D end is definitely not the thing to do. And once again, I'm a pretty harsh grader, guys, so I'm going to tell you good things, bad things, and I'm going to put on these grading the subs. I'm going to play some great players, I'm going to play some bad players, I'm going to play some average players, just like how every one of y'all are. Not all my subs are elite level. Some are. A lot of them probably are average, and some of y'all are probably below average. But you need to watch this to help you get better, and it just really is constructive criticism on my behalf. And so, as you see, I'm having a pretty easy time on offense as well, on my offense, because he's giving me everything, and then he needs to also. I came out with a video a couple times ago. I'll end up hitting him up with some like read option plays towards the end of the game to just trying to test out his run defense to see what what he's got going on there, and he needs to turn on his quarterback contain thing onto aggressive, so it will always take the quarterback, and so he has to always hand the ball off. But he didn't do that to me, so I was able to fake the handoff and and take off with my quarterback a pretty good bit. So his run defense needs to improve. He had a couple times he blitzed and got in, which was nice. He did a really nice job of mixing up different coverages, and if he was going to blitz or play back in coverage, once again, it's just if he's going to take one thing out of this video on the defense side of the ball, he needs to not use the DN. And if anybody out there, that's a nice little blitz right there on 3rd and goal. I figured he was going to pass, and I was able to get him right there. And then 4th and goal, once again, send a nice little blitz. He had to hit up the slant route real quick. Wasn't able to make it in. So nice little goal line stand on my part. As you can tell, this game's a little bit laggy, and I apologize for that. Can't do anything about that. As you see, I was talking about his run defense. He didn't set his stuff on aggressive on the quarterback contain, and so I was able to fake the handoff and take off the quarterback. Why you don't want that to happen is it opens up. You can always use her with the middle linebacker or the safety, go up in between the hole and blow it up if he hands it off to the running back. But whenever the quarterback ends up keeping it, it makes it easier for your opponent because they don't have to make any reads. A lot of people will just not hand it off to the running back and take off for their quarterback. And also, whenever they keep it with the quarterback, it has a potential for a bigger play, in my eyes at least. So you definitely always want to set that on aggressive. And then this is right here where Burnetti's arm strength is not coming in handy. I have my wide receiver. I think he has like 97 excel and like 90-something speed, but he wasn't able to throw it and deep enough. And so right here, I'm going to be testing it once again soon because anytime I don't see a second high safety, there's no it's just one-on-one coverage. I'm predicting my guy's going to outrun the corner, and he does, and I finally get the touchdown. I got lucky that I didn't throw an interception earlier on. Right here, I was able to strafe up and in between 3 people get a pick. Couldn't believe it. And then on his offensive side of the ball, I would really say he needs to work on having a base play and then going from there. Watch this. This was the worst read possible. I'm able to pick it up, and it looks like I just might be able to take this to the crib if I can run away from Clowney. Oh, my gosh. So a second one should have been a turnover or like a 15-yard loss. Turned out to be like a 20-yard run or whatever it was, and was able to score the very next play. So you definitely got luck out on that part right there. But on offense, he has a pretty decent offense. He needs to find one base pass play that he really likes to come out in. He does a really good job of audibling whenever he doesn't like what he's seeing. But he definitely needs to find one base play that you want to come out in. And I would really recommend to come out in with something with a running back in the backfield, because that means you can audible to 5 wide, you can audible to under center, you can audible to anything you want. Because if you come out in 5 wide, you can't audible down in this year's game. So I have my 5 wide plays in my for my audibles. I have 2 of them in my audibles, but I don't come out in 5 wide play anymore. Just so the fact that I can audible into different things. So let's see what I graded this man. Let me know what you think about my grading. If you think I was too harsh or if it was right on. I gave his offense a C+. Some of his strengths is, he has a balanced offense. His pre-snap adjustments, I didn't really show y'all, but they were pretty good. If he didn't like if I overloaded the box, he would audible out of a run play into a passing play, and he has some pretty nice runs. His weaknesses is he doesn't have a base play. His pocket presence, he would immediately rush outside and roll out of the pocket way too fast. He needs to stay in there, maybe step up in the pocket instead of rolling out. And so let's check out his defense. His defense I give a C-. His strengths were really, all I could think of was he mixed up his blitzing and coverages. Sometimes he play coverage defense. He ran zone mostly, which is a good thing, and every once in a while he would play with man. His weaknesses, he plays as a DN and tight end, DN and D tackle way too much. I went over that in the commentary. His run defense, he needs to set his stuff on aggressive to take away the option run game. And he didn't make any adjustments to my offense of some of my user catching and some of my route combinations. So I gave him his defense a C-. Hope y'all enjoy this commentary. And let me know in the comment section below if you would like to see more of grading the sub.